In the previous part, we explored how climate cycles emerge from interactions between ice, oceans, vegetation, water, and carbon. Now we turn to a central question. How exactly does carbon dioxide influence climate? In most discussions about climate change, the answer focuses on one mechanism: radiative forcing. Carbon dioxide absorbs infrared radiation and reduces the amount of energy escaping to space. This effect is real. It is measurable. And it is well established in physics. But is it the whole story? In parts 5 and 6, we explored the role of vegetation in the climate system. We saw that global temperature patterns and vegetation types are closely linked. Reconstructions suggest that periods with more extensive vegetation tend to be associated with warmer and more humid conditions, while periods with more widespread deserts or sparse vegetation are often associated with cooler and drier climates. These relationships are connected to the physical properties of different surface types, especially evapotranspiration. Forests release significantly more water vapor into the atmosphere than grasslands, while in deserts and dry regions this flux is very small. Evapotranspiration influences climate in two major ways, both of which can be described in energetic terms. First, it converts a portion of incoming solar energy into latent heat. This energy is stored in water vapor, transported through the atmosphere, and later released during condensation, often at higher altitudes or in different regions. Second, water vapor strongly influences outgoing radiation. As the dominant greenhouse gas in Earth's atmosphere, its concentration affects how efficiently the planet can radiate energy into space. When these processes are considered together, an important pattern emerges. Vegetation and surface conditions can significantly influence both regional and global energy balance. This does not replace the role of carbon dioxide. Instead, it highlights that vegetation and the hydrological cycle are integral parts of the climate system's response. In this part, we examine how carbon dioxide fits into this broader picture. To understand the full picture, we need to look at observations of the real Earth. Satellite instruments such as NASA's atmospheric infrared sounder AIRS allow us to measure outgoing radiation across different regions of the planet. Using a method similar to that described in Part 6, these observations can be combined with vegetation data from NASA's MODIS dataset. By selecting grid cells with high confidence and dominant vegetation coverage, and then analyzing their outgoing radiation, we can construct characteristic radiation patterns for different biome types. These results reveal something important. Outgoing radiation is not uniform. It varies strongly depending on surface type, vegetation, and atmospheric conditions. Deserts, grasslands, and forests all behave differently, not just slightly, but systematically. This leads to a key insight. Vegetation does not only respond to climate, it actively participates in shaping it. Through processes such as evapotranspiration, moisture transport, cloud formation, and surface energy exchange, vegetation influences how energy moves through the Earth system. In densely vegetated regions, a significant portion of incoming solar energy is converted into latent heat. In dry regions, a larger fraction of incoming energy remains near the surface as sensible heat, while outgoing radiation to space is also generally higher. Satellite observations show clear differences between these regimes. While most greenhouse gases are relatively well mixed in the atmosphere, water vapor varies strongly across regions and is closely linked to surface conditions and vegetation. When comparing tropical rainforests and deserts, this contrast becomes especially clear. Incoming solar radiation may be broadly similar, but the way energy is processed differs significantly. In humid regions, higher water vapor concentrations and more frequent cloud formation lead to increased absorption and redistribution of energy within the atmosphere. These processes can reduce the efficiency of outgoing radiation to space, so more energy remains in the system that can contribute to warmer conditions. In dry regions, low moisture levels and fewer clouds allow more direct outgoing radiation, meaning a larger fraction of surface-emitted energy can escape to space. These differences also influence how additional greenhouse gases affect the system. In drier environments, where the atmosphere is more transparent in certain infrared bands, changes in carbon dioxide concentration can have a more direct impact on outgoing radiation. As carbon dioxide concentration increases, the absorption features associated with the gas broaden, allowing it to absorb radiation over a wider range of wavelengths. In drier regions, where less absorption occurs from water vapor and clouds, this additional carbon dioxide absorption can represent a relatively larger change. In contrast, in humid and cloud-dominated environments, part of this radiative effect may overlap with absorption by water vapor and clouds, which can reduce its incremental impact on outgoing radiation. This helps explain why different regions may respond differently to similar changes in atmospheric composition. The direct radiative effect of carbon dioxide is often quantified using a widely used relationship, commonly known as the Myhre formula. It describes how changes in carbon dioxide concentration alter Earth's energy balance through radiation. This relationship is based on detailed spectroscopic data from laboratory measurements, including databases such as HITRAN, which describe how gases absorb and emit infrared radiation at different wavelengths. Radiative transfer calculations were performed across a wide range of atmospheric conditions, and the results were combined into a simplified, globally averaged approximation, leading to the compact logarithmic form of the Myhre formula. This formulation has been widely used for capturing the direct radiative effect of carbon dioxide. Part 2 explains it and its limitations in more detail. When applied to long-term carbon dioxide variations, it reproduces a significant portion of observed temperature trends. However, over the past 800,000 years, the direct radiative effect predicted by the Myhre formula accounts for less than half of the full magnitude of reconstructed climate variability. Now we can bring these elements together. In Part 5, we energetically quantified from observational evidence how latent heat associated with vegetation influences Earth's energy balance. In Part 6, we reconstructed changes in outgoing long-wave radiation based on the extent of different biomes, oceans, and ice sheets. Finally, we have the well-established radiative effect of carbon dioxide. Individually, none of these factors appears sufficient to explain the full magnitude of long-term climate variability over the past 800,000 years. However, when their combined effects are considered together, a much closer agreement with reconstructed temperature variations begins to emerge. This suggests that the climate system does not respond to carbon dioxide in isolation. Instead, it responds as a coupled system involving the atmosphere, hydrological cycle, vegetation, and surface energy balance. So does carbon dioxide warm the planet? Yes. Its radiative effect is real and measurable. But the direct radiative effect alone is significantly less than the total observed climate response. Biological and hydrological feedbacks may amplify the climate response substantially. This does not contradict the physics of radiation, it extends it. Carbon dioxide influences climate not only through radiation, but also through its interactions with vegetation, water, and the broader Earth system. In other words, the atmosphere does not respond alone. The living planet responds with it. This raises deeper questions. If carbon dioxide affects both radiation and the biosphere, then how large is its total impact, and where does the additional carbon dioxide come from in today's climate system? In the next part, we will examine this question in the modern context. We will compare different lines of evidence from radiation, vegetation, and observations to better understand the full role of carbon dioxide in today's climate. In the next part, we will step back to the present and try to apply what we learned from the past to the present conditions. We will examine the extent to which carbon dioxide contributes to present-day climate change, and where does the additional carbon dioxide come from. If you liked this part, don't forget to share the video so others may also enjoy it. Also remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next part and other exciting videos released in the future.